If you see a Medicare levy charge on your Australian tax return, do not assume you have to pay it. But if you don't have a physical Medicare card, do not assume you're automatically exempt. Your final tax outcome is calculated using a strict combination of your exact tax residency status, your specific Medicare eligibility dates, and whether you apply the correct exemption category. Guessing your exemption status based on standard visa types or private insurance policies will lead to an incorrect tax assessment. First, look at this diagram comparing the two separate charges. The ordinary Medicare levy on the left is a standard 2% tax that funds public health. The Medicare levy surcharge on the right is a separate penalty for higher income earners without private hospital cover. Tax residency and Medicare eligibility are determined by different laws. You can be an Australian resident for tax purposes without being entitled to Medicare, and vice versa. If you are a foreign resident for tax purposes for the entire financial year, you can claim a full 365-day exemption based purely on that tax status. However, if you are a resident for tax purposes but not entitled to Medicare, you must apply for a Medicare Entitlement Statement, or MES, from Services Australia to claim an exemption. The ATO then uses this statement to finalize your tax assessment. This is why holding a standard temporary visa does not guarantee an exemption. You have to prove your specific legal status through the proper bureaucratic pathway. Holding private insurance, like overseas student health cover, does not equal a Medicare levy exemption. It affects the surcharge. Also, reciprocal healthcare agreements can grant Medicare entitlement regardless of insurance. Finally, applying for permanent residency mid-year alters eligibility dates, preventing a full-year exemption. Family circumstances dictate the calculation too. If you are eligible for Medicare but your spouse is not, family tax rules apply, and both of you may require distinct MES evidence. MES applications open July 1st, and processing takes up to 8 weeks. Note that if your income is simply low, you do not need a MES. The ATO calculates low-income reductions automatically. Because variables like marriage, visas, and insurance overlap constantly, one-size-fits-all assumptions fail. You must wait for official documentation before lodging your return. Here is the final exemption day checklist. Before acting, determine your precise tax residency for the year, confirm your exact Medicare eligibility dates, and check if you fall under any reciprocal healthcare agreement. Next, apply for an MES only if required. Wait for the physical statement to arrive. Enter only the officially confirmed exemption days into your tax return, and retain all supporting evidence. Strictly adhering to these documented steps prevents costly tax return rejections. Information checked 24 July 2026. This video provides general tax and Medicare information and does not represent personalized financial or legal advice from the ATO, Services Australia, or a registered tax agent.